I'm Roderick Beaton, and I'm Emeritus Corais Professor of Modern Greek and Byzantine History, Language and Literature at King's College London. What you're looking at is a Thracian lyra that was made for me by a semi-professional performer in the village of Agia Eleni Seron, near Ceres, in northern Greece, in 1975. The lyra is a musical instrument of the rebec family, and for many hundreds of years they used to be played all over the southern Balkans, the Middle East, and North Africa. The name lyra comes from ancient Greek. Originally it referred to a plucked lyre, and this is the origin of the same word in English. It was also a completely different instrument. Nowadays, a more modern type of lyra is played everywhere in Crete and in some places in the Aegean Islands. The Thracian lyra is a rare variety. Its basic simplicity is much closer to the kind of instrument that would have been heard all over the Greek-speaking world at the time of the Greek Revolution of 1821. If we want to imagine the lost music of the revolutionaries of that time, of the guerrilla groups and their charismatic leaders known as clefts, gathered round their campfires of an evening in their mountain lairs, the Thracian lyra is one of the best and rarest links we have to help us conjure it up. Everything except the strings, which are gut, is made of wood, even the tuning pegs. The back is carved out of a single piece of walnut. The sounding board, which is quite thin so as to resonate, from a lighter wood. The bow is quite a different shape from the violin bow that in Crete and other parts of Greece has come to replace the traditional form. It's strung with horsehair. The Thracian lyra may be the oldest type of string instrument still made and played in Greece today. But the communities that have kept it alive have an unusual history of their own. These instruments are played, usually in pairs, and accompanied by a large bass drum called daouli, as part of the festival called the Anastenaria. In a small number of locations in northern Greece, this festival is celebrated each year in honour of Saints Constantine and Helen on 21st May and the days immediately following. At its height, dancers make their way slowly and rhythmically in bare feet across the red-hot embers of a fire that have been spread out in the shape of a threshing floor. The Greek communities that continue this ritual were originally established on the Black Sea coast of what is now Bulgaria. They moved to Greece in and after 1919. That's why the instrument is still called Thracian. Some folklorists have tried to trace the origin of this strange ritual in the ancient worship of the god Dionysus. Others have made a link with the Christian heresy of the Paulicians, also known as Bogomils, that flourished during Byzantine times before being suppressed. How old the practice is, where and how it originated, nobody knows. But whatever the answer, the characteristic sound of the Thracian lyra and the deep throb of the daouli, played non-stop for hours on end before the fire dancing ritual starts, have the power to cast a spell over the dancers that enables them to move across glowing embers at several hundred degrees centigrade without suffering the slightest burn.